Hey everyone, I'm Jeremy Szafron. This is Kitco News. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And today we're diving into one of the most exciting years for artificial intelligence. From Apple's partnership with OpenAI to Nvidia's impressive market performance, 2024 truly is the year of artificial intelligence. Now, Nvidia has been a standout, recently unveiling their new B200 flagship AI chip, showcasing their commitment to staying at the forefront of AI technology. And they've also acquired Run, a company specializing in managing AI workload, in a deal worth around $700 million. Now, this move strengthens NVIDIA's ability to handle large-scale AI projects, and acquisitions in the AI space seem to be just getting started here. Apple's integration of ChatGPT is set to revolutionize how we interact with our everyday devices. Now, of course, this partnership will allow Apple to offer ChatGPT features on iPhones starting with iOS 18, bringing advanced AI to everyday use. But don't forget, with rapid advancements comes challenges. Managing AI infrastructure and addressing economic risks are complex issues. However, there are still substantial opportunities for investors here, particularly in companies providing the essential tools and the infrastructure for AI, the picks and shovels, as we like to call them. Now, our next guest knows a lot about the dynamic field of artificial intelligence. Jiahao Sun, an Oxford alumnus and former director of AI at RBC, is now the founder and CEO of Flock.io. He brings a valuable experience in privacy-centered AI solutions and decentralized AI model training. Oh, Xiao, welcome to Kitco News. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting me to the show. Hey, good to see you, Jeremy.
I'm excited about this, Xiao. I mean, we got so much to talk about. As I just mentioned, 2024 has been kind of hailed as a pivotal year for AI, and generative AI technologies like ChatGPT making headlines for their strategic partnerships with Apple and OpenAI. Give us a little lay of the land and a broad overview of the significant developments into the world of AI this year and what that means for both consumers and businesses.
It's a great thing. I think the investors, especially in the market, right, they were fearing that Apple didn't really catch up to this AI movement until
Yeah.
WWDC earlier this week. Like everyone saw it. Wow, okay, it's actually becoming true. So AI is catching up. Sorry, Apple is catching up, but using other people's API, right? So there's also some contradictory thinkings about it. Whether that's a real AI developed by Apple, of course not. It's by GPT, right? But it's a good thing for consumer, right? So Apple provides the best consumer devices, or arguably, devices to the world, and then they integrate with AI natively and from a third party, but can bring a lot of convenience to the users. So that's still a great thing.
Yeah, it seems like we were just talking about ChatGPT coming out onto the market, people understanding what it is, what the use case scenarios are, and now a lot of people use it. Almost every single sector. Talk to me a little bit about how fast AI is moving and some of the bigger stories here at play this year.
Yeah, I think AI moves relatively fast. In
Yeah.
the history actually like it's always fast, but it is the GPT or the large language model type of the application that actually arouse general public's attention. Because before, let's say if it's AlphaGo, right, it's still very powerful, very cool by the time when people play Go. But it's not like to everyone, right? Not everyone play Go, and then even if it's like a super strong algorithm that can play Go with you, but it's still not a day-to-day thing to everyone, right? But from GPT age, like it's natural language. Everyone can talk, right? Everyone can write down things, and then they can interact with the bot, and they can actually experience advanced development of AI. So yeah, that's I think what makes this AI hype so important and so annoying, let's say, because everyone is now
Yeah.
trying to build something either upon OpenAI or trying to disrupt, maybe building their own algorithms, trying to catch up. Yeah, so many news, so many clashes in the market right now.
Yeah, let's break that open a little bit here, Zhao. I mean, we just talked about how everyone is almost using the product. We've seen some interesting times and some challenges for, privacy. Some people saying, okay, I asked it to do this and now it's not giving me the right information. I mean, with such rapid advancements, what are the biggest challenges companies face in keeping up with AI technology and how can they overcome them?
Yeah, I think that two of the questions you mentioned are actually leading to a thing. That's what we called AI hallucinations. That means
Yeah.
like if I'm asking AI to do something, but it actually doing something else or doing something more than what I asked, it's mainly result from the training data, which is not complete enough. But in order to get a complete training data, which is hard, but it will require some access to your personal data set.
Right.
That will bring up another question, right? Whether I would love to give up my private data to a third party. For example, if I am going to train a personal assistant, which in order to make it to run very well, right, you have to give almost all your data over so that it can learns and then to serve you well. But many of those data are quite sensitive. Like I have so many photos in my phone that I don't want to share with other people. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. So that's the first main concern about the privacy. That it's like a dilemma. Like you want a good AI, you need a lot of data. But if you're giving out that data, that actually touches your very sensitive uh, barrier, right? So
Mhm.
I think that's first of all. And the other thing actually resulting from this, sorry. The other thing actually, go from this is the data biases. Because if you can only train a model based on some open domain data, which is just openly there, everyone can get it. I mean, we all have our social image, right? So something that you post on your LinkedIn will be well of your social image, but there might be some other type of you, typing different textual languages to your friends or to your family. Those data, if they always stays private, and also does the AI only get those open domain data, then that bias will always be there. And it will
Yeah.
be amplified. For example, GPT-1 gets some data, and then GPT-2 see, oh, the whole human world is now having this bias in their whole contextual languages. So I'm just giving it a bias and bias again. That's what AI do all the time. So they will find the quickest way or the easiest way to to trap into the what we call the lowest loss function results to just to be lazy.
So what's the issue here? I mean, it's going to be just a moments of time. It feels like in all of our iPhones, we're going to have ChatGPT. Elon Musk came out with a tweet right after this announcement from Apple, basically
Yeah.
saying, "Hey, I'm not going to allow these Apple iPhones inside of any of my businesses or any of my offices anymore. There's a huge privacy issue." I think Apple came about saying and trying to clarify that they're not really a part of OpenAI. But explain this a little bit for me and the audience here, Zhao. What is at risk here, and how does Apple, make it so that all of our information isn't owned by OpenAI?
Yeah, that's a very tricky part. Actually, I also watched all Tim Cook's interview after the announcement, WDC, and even the one with Dua Lipa, which is a good one.
Hmm.
He basically blurred the answer about this. He said, "Yeah, this is two different things. So the one that we're working with, what we call private cloud computing, is a thing, and then with GPT is another thing. So we are cutting them apart, which." Well, I don't know because I haven't tested iOS 18 yet, so I don't actually know how exactly the mechanism works if it's cut it through. But yeah, to back to your question, so for example, in order to make a AI more private or more respect your data privacy, right? We would like to have the model happening or model training or model computation happen as close as possible to the user. So for example, on your own phones, on your own computers. But of course, for those huge models nowadays, it's hard to actually have a computer at home or have an iPhone that can actually run such models perfectly, right? So there are some solutions maybe in the market. For example, people who are trying to squeeze down those models to make them small enough, but giving them great contents to make the model still perform as good. Or like what Apple is doing is actually they assign some of the cloud to you so that you can actually compute your own data on those clouds. But
Hmm.
there's a risk already. So yes, those clouds are stated to be assigned to you, but whether they are safe enough, right? I don't think you will be able to. I don't think every iPhone user will be able to assign some specific servers just run their models, right? It doesn't really economically works for a company like Apple, who's for profit, right? So you will definitely go through those elastic type of instances. Someone spin up an instance, someone else will share the compute. Then how to make sure that different data they don't actually mess up with each other. They don't actually aggregate it together into one place where there'll be risk of people whose data got hacked in the future, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
but that's Apple's answer to at this stage to okay, let's build this private cloud computing stuff. Like we don't actually require your local compute. We are still running on cloud, but so just those cloud are assigned to you in some ways. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fascinating. Lots more to come on the privacy issue there. Okay, let's get over to the business side of things. We've seen significant trends in AI startups being acquired this year. For instance, IBM acquired Aptio for about $4.6 billion, and Microsoft acquired Nuance Communications for almost $20 billion to boost their AI capabilities in the healthcare sector. What do you think's driving this consolidation? And I guess more importantly, Zhao, is it just getting started?
I think so. Yes, yes. The trend is just getting started, and then the
Yeah.
superpower are getting super. It's a trend like just like in early internet bubble days where people are
Hmm.
competing their operating systems, right? Windows have a great system. Mac OS back that time also trying to compete with each other, and there are actually a lot of other competitors in the market at that time. But then still, so they will acquire competitors. They'll consolidate them all together into a bigger product. They actually can eat up the whole market share. So I think this is just starting because there are so many niche markets that actually need huge models to help them facilitate the whole either training or the inferencing stages, right? Just as you mentioned, like healthcare, finance as well. Like they are long being data silos, like well-known data silos. No, and I would say none of the banks would like to share their data to each other, right? That doesn't really make sense to them. But in order to maybe have a great financial large language model, then you will have to get enough data. Otherwise, it will be biased to your own firm's data. It's not cool enough, right? But to
Yeah.
that point, still, I think, just like as I mentioned about operating systems, even if there are superpowers like Windows or Mac OS in the market, there are still spaces for Linux, right? The open source system where it can still be open source auditable by all the community members, and then people can even fork a version of their own to run their own operating systems. I think, yeah, basically in the future, as I can see, the superpowers will be well, superpower because
Yeah.
so many hardware requirements. Like it's hard nowadays, even for some foreseeable future, for startups to actually step into this industry. Because by entering this industry, you have to at least have certain like 7, 8 figures of worth of graphic cards to in order to just start their business. So that's not something that people can start straight away.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, we've seen it in other industries, obviously, capital extensive. Look at Apple, for instance, partnering with OpenAI. It almost seemed as though they were a little bit late to the party. So, of course, natural. Let's go to ChatGPT. Could this consolidation phase potentially stifle innovation, or did you believe that maybe it'll lead to more resourceful or capable companies?
Well, actually, Apple released their own open source large language model as well, but that one is just,
Mhm.
not compatible to anything in the market right now, right? So
Right.
yes, so I think every company trying to catch up, but then they realize, okay, by the time they realize it's important, the other companies like GPT or OpenAI or Google, they are already far ahead, right? So it doesn't really makes their business decision wise to actually develop such many capital into a new model that owned by themselves. So
Mhm.
I think it's natural for those companies, especially for consumer apps, to adopt like OpenAI or Gemini on their own platform. So they'll be focusing on their own consumer user experiences to make it quite relevant to their users. For example, as Apple just did, right, a native API that can actually understand everything about your daily routine, your daily data, so then can help you schedule, help you, wake you up in the morning, or even order you some Uber foods for
Yeah.
dinner. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got lots of skin in the game. Obviously, you're running Flock.io, but at the end of the day, you are also the director of artificial intelligence for RBC. You've seen a lot of different companies. And despite the boom in AI, IT services stocks have seemed to be lagging a little bit here, given their crucial role in managing and optimizing the infrastructure for AI. How do you see the future of IT services evolving, and what investment opportunities does this present for listeners at home looking to, get some skin in the game, but maybe not buy an Nvidia stock?
So I think as AI, especially the application layer of AI, right, getting more accessible to people, there will definitely be a lot of companies, just like in IT service industry before, trying to serve different niche industries, like I
Mhm.
mentioned, finance, healthcare, right? Because back in the old days, yeah, let's see the trend. Back in the old days, when computer programming become a thing, right? There are already been RPA companies who just building those automatic rule-based bots for
Mhm.
companies like banks, helping them, for example, translating a PDF file to a Excel to make it just work internally. So now that LLMs are getting more accessible to more people, then yeah, I'm seeing lots of trends as those IT services companies, they're like evolving themselves from purely rule-based bots to a more sophisticated, what we call AI agents. So we probably will see a big boom of AI agents soon in the future. Like people are building those agents specifically to some niche requirements of the industry. So
Mhm.
that can be a trend, but also it's risk. Well, it's risky in a way. Also, like just like iOS gonna kill all those API wrappers now
Right.
nowadays,
Yeah.
right? Because they if you don't really have your niche in your own business, then you're relying on other people's ecosystem. Then that's another big risk as well. Like one day maybe iOS will just revoke it, and then they will have their own native apps. Then how can you compete?
Yeah. Yeah. So fascinating, especially just at the beginning stages here. Okay. With much of the investment on AI going to major players like NVIDIA's, Broadcom is really surging today. What opportunities exist for investors looking at companies providing, the picks and shovels of AI? What are some examples of promising companies in this space?
Yeah, I would say just like when everyone is, going to San Francisco gold digging, then
Yeah.
yeah, trying to see if there are some other companies selling water or even selling shovels right around. So I think like infrastructure companies, someone who is doing but nowadays in traditional AI, maybe infrastructure has already been taken by lots of big players. Maybe in a decentralized world, in decentralized compute, right? GPUs actually be contributed by everyone in the world, or decentralized data storage where you don't have to pay AWS S3 for your data storage. You can have it, decentralizedly distributed to the world. So it's well cheaper in a way and also safer because users can control it. So yeah, for the infrastructure, I guess that's a bit of it. And then maybe for the intelligence layer where Flock actually fits in, the algorithms or the algorithm frameworks that can help businesses to keep their data private, but can still do collaboration between each other to make a model aggregations. So now those
Right.
are also the a very interesting angle, and then lots of people are doing so. Not only just for like Flock with this federal learning framework, but also some encryption type of companies like doing homomorphic encryptions or doing like zero knowledge proofs.
Mhm.
These are all sounds interesting technologies, although maybe still a bit longer way to go. But then once they can be efficiently used in production, then it will be a game changer to the market.
Yeah, there was a lot of people concerned when ChatGPT came out. They said, "Oh my gosh, it's maybe going to take my job, or what's it going to happen?" I mean, recently the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, kind of warned that AI could amplify economic downturns by disrupting labor and, more importantly, the financial markets. So, how do policymakers and businesses work together to mitigate these risks while still harnessing AI's potential here?
I think one thing importantly is even AI can get super strong in the future. We will still need human beings to be who
Mhm.
generate data for them, right? So it's not just saying that we are data laborers, but also everything you do, every action, every decision you make will be the training material for the future for AIs to actually learn on it. So
Mhm.
um, I still think human beings are still needed in their daily lives, so that AI can mock them and can learn from their behaviors, and not only on those jobs, but also, for example, on the whole human crew behind AI algorithms. Right? We still nowadays, especially for language models, we still need human in the loop to do the reinforce to make sure the model actually works as expected instead of getting too crazy or, as I mentioned, getting some hallucinations that's not suitable in production. So these jobs will also be created. So yes, you will see maybe some traditional jobs will all disease, but then there will be new job opportunities always opening. And I recently actually, it's quite fun. I recently is playing a game called Democracy 4. It's like a
Hmm.
simulation game for getting elected and then to make policies in the in a country. And then yeah, in the game setting, they also have this saying that okay, AI is so super strong, and whether you need to have an automation tax on your country or your fake country, because you have very high employment rate in your country, but then
Right.
still everyone's happy. So it might not be a bad thing.
Yeah. There's so much talk too about automation and efficiency in business places. If businesses could look at AI as maybe, something that helps employees as opposed to taking employees away from their jobs, maybe they could all work together, correct?
Yeah, working on some more sophisticated jobs, right? You don't have to do the repetitive jobs all the time, right? For example, if someone's job before was just to translating some figures from PDF to Excel, now it can be done. So his sophistication can be deployed into more cool tasks, right? That can't be easily taken by AI just as of now.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah. Okay, Xiao, looking ahead, what AI trends do you expect to catch fire over the next year? Talk to me a little bit about you're ahead of the game here. Tell me what we should be watching for and why.
I think personally, I'm very interested in multimodal
Mhm.
algorithms. And those, so currently, what we can get from large language models, majority about textual inputs and textual results, right? Maybe now in GPT-4, now you can get some pictures out, but that's not like fully integrated. So by multimodal, it means whatever you put through, for example, in a camera, you see whatever in the camera, and then you can directly interact with the bot, saying, okay, what I'm seeing, and then what's this, what's that. So basically, multimodal means how a bot can actually receive all different format of data, not only just languages, but also videos, text, or even other form of data, music ish. So that would be a big next big game changer. Many of the players are trying to put more effort on this. So I'm guessing maybe GPT-5 is already going to be integrated with full multimodal ability. And that's one of it.
Interesting.
And then the other one, I guess, explainable AI. This is quite important. Like when we see AI become so strong, right? We were always trying to sit down and see if we can get some type of protocol that can verify all the AI models, and then actually to get to some degree explanation why the decision was made like this from the
Mhm.
order of me, right? For example, the input from me is like this, why he's making that decision, right? So having some degree of transparency will help. Actually, will help the industry, will help researchers to actually develop a better model that can actually work to our needs, right? Instead of becoming a AI doom one day.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Talk to me about what challenges companies face in implementing these multimodal AI projects, and more importantly, again, how should investors approach these new technologies? I mean, is there any companies they can look at for examples?
Oh, naming the names. Now, I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, many of the players now coming out, and like especially, I would say, especially in specific industries. That's
Mhm.
what I see the majority of the opportunities might be for startups. Because I wouldn't expect some new startup just one day become a superstar and then get all the graphic cards, all the computer powers. Even if they do so, maybe one day they'll just be acquired by the superpowers again, right? So, not in a general part. So general AI might be a hard part to tackle, but then for specific industries, specific use cases, I think startups will have their own niche. For example, like there are someone who work in healthcare industry for quite a long time. They understand how the industry works. They know what data is actually useful, what's not, and they have the
Really?
insights to do the evaluation of their model. So that model wouldn't play wildly. They would, be very specific to healthcare industry. So yeah, those ones, I guess, will be more will have more potential than the general ones, which now
Yeah.
controlled by.
Yeah, it's just fascinating. I'm going to play with some of these new technologies too. Hey, thanks, Jiao, for coming on today. Jiahao Sun joining us to talk about all of the AI, almost what sounded like a sci-fi film here today, Jiao.
Yeah, yeah. And hopefully we're gonna see some new good endings soon.
Good endings coming up for sure. Hey, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Thanks, Jiao.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
I'm Jeremy Szafron for all of us here at Kitco News. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for the latest content. We're going to have some great shows coming at you the next week. See you soon.